Hey guys, Furum here, and today we are going to be testing the Aston Martin DB11 in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. I'm not feeling very well at the moment, but I did not want to leave you guys for many days without a video, so here you go. My rank is 2029, and my upgrades are 8888. I have a 2-star DB11. It's going to be a while before I can 3-star it. 70 blueprints is a lot. In this race, we are facing an Exotic Rides W70, a Corvette Grand Sport, which by the way is a horrible car, and a Pininfarina H2 or something like that. I don't quite know exactly how to pronounce it, along with some other cars. Now, as you can see, the DB11 starts up probably slower than average. Now, you may be wondering, why did I call it the hacker car? The reason behind this is this car has a very high speed for a car that is not that hard to get. So what you will see quite often in multiplayer, at least you used to, is DB11s with shockwave hacks all over the place. And I got to the point where every time I saw a DB11, my mind instantly thought hacker, which of course wasn't the case nearly all of the time. It's just that they became related in my mind. So this car can reach 216 miles per hour with this tuning, which is faster than a 4-star Acura, faster than a 3-star Porsche. So basically, once you get up to speed, and if you can pass everybody else, there's a fairly good chance that they're not going to be catching up to you, unless of course they're faster cars themselves, like say a 4-star Vulcan or an SCG. However, those cars are not available to use in the current season. The best ones are probably the Cadillac CN, which goes maybe like 10 miles per hour faster than this car, the Ford GT, the Asterion, and the Acura, which is what I use mostly in this season. But I wanted to show you guys that this DB11 is not a bad car at all, and if you can get ahead, you can really pull out some wins in it. Just like in this race, where we managed to get ahead of that W70 at the jump back there, and thus come in first position, because the W70 is slower by about 6-ish miles per hour at his rank. So that Exotic Rides was at 2308 rank. I'll be testing mine at that rank as well, and poor Corvette Grand Sport. Now for a race against 2 more Exotic Rides at 2308 rank. That car is probably the most common car in this season, along with the Asterion, which is more common once you reach a higher rating. I do not actually have the Asterion. I hope to get it soon, but yeah, I don't have it yet. It is quite a good car, and even though it starts up slower than the Acura, I believe it is faster, and so the Asterion is probably the car that has beat me and my Acura most often. So the car behind me right now is one of the Exotic Rides W70. They seem to be able to do quite well because they're kind of like an Acura with slightly slower acceleration but slightly faster speed. So yeah, very good cars to use in this season, and I believe most people have it at least 1 or 2 stars. But probably not 3, because the W70, just like the DB11, requires 70 blueprints to 3-star. This makes sense on cars like the 911, which you can get 2 blueprints of every day in the daily car loot, so that being 70 kind of makes sense, but these being 70, and you cannot get them that easily, seems a bit much. Oh, and before I forget to say it, there's some big hype in the Asphalt 9 community right now. The first update after the worldwide release is going to be streamed on Monday, October 1st. I will put a link to that scheduled stream in the description. It's known as the Club Race update or something like that because I believe you're finally going to be able to race members of your club, which is really cool and probably one of the best additions they could add at this point because you can really test your skills against your other club members. So we've won this race here, going up a whole 42 rating. That's a lot, and you're really not going to find that once you get into Legends League, because once you get into Legends League and up above 1950-ish, it becomes really hard to gain more than just a few per race. So we did beat that higher ranked Asterion, and hey, everybody in this race is actually higher ranked than me. Alright, in this race we are facing what is probably one of the best multiplayer cars of the season, the Cadillac CN Concept, which interestingly is actually the oldest car in the game, I believe. It is the second best car in Class B behind the SCG, and at 2499 rank like he is, he can go nearly as fast as an SCG at that rank. So definitely a car to be contended with. However, it also does have fairly bad acceleration. Even though he got ahead for a little bit, I'm actually passing him again right there. So the Ford GT is the car right up there, and the car directly in front of him is a Jaguar F-Type. So here I tried to knock down the Ford GT. It doesn't quite work, and so he is right on my tail with that Jaguar F-Type not too far in front of me. And actually the Ford GT just bumped me from behind. Mainly what that does, it doesn't give me any speed increase, it just slows him down a good bit. Here the Cian almost squishes me to the side, but thankfully I was able to shockwave out of there and stay ahead of him. So guys, if you have a DB11, preferably at 2 stars, don't be afraid to use it in multiplayer, especially if you're below 1600 or so rating, because it's a good car below there. Once you get above 1600, you're going to face some better competition from Asterions and higher ranked 4GTs and stuff like that, which you may not be able to win against. But getting to 1600-ish rank, it's pretty good. The first place driver hit a car on the edge of the road, thus allowing me to come into first place, with those 2 cars not too far behind. Actually, there's 3, I think. One slightly annoying thing about the Asphalt 9 minimap compared to Asphalt 8's is that if 2 cars are right next to each other, behind you or whatever, you can't really tell because they're just yellow blobs. Whereas in Asphalt 8, they look more like donut shapes, so you could tell pretty easily if there was more than one person right behind you. Unfortunately, as I'm not feeling well, I'm going to have to cut my commentary short here, but don't worry, there will be music for the rest of the video, and we did reach 1600 rating right here, so enjoy the rest of the video.
invincible.
We come up to the finish line with that 2300 Asteria not far behind us, and we come in first place. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 and 9 content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!